because it's really hard to, I'm going to sidetrack for a second, because it's really hard to go in the store and not find something cute that you say you need for your house when you love decorating for the holidays. Like, I find something cute and I'm like, I'll make that work. I can use that, right? I've justified things that
That's
way.
one of the reasons I don't go into the stores. Is because
Right?
I'm the same.
Yes.
I will go and I'm not looking for that
Yes.
thing, but I like that thing and I can justify how to get that thing into my space, but that's hard for so many
Yes.
people. Welcome to Reframe and Reclaim. We are Courtney Huckabee, a psychotherapist,
And Jen Harris, an interior designer
who have teamed up to reflect,
challenge,
and reframe your mindset in relationship with your personal belongings.
join us as we discuss and declutter all of the stuff that keeps us stuck.
Learn to intentionally create environments with improved function and design that cultivate peace of mind. Find the reframe.
Start your reclaim. Welcome back to another episode of Reframe and Reclaim. Once again, I'm Jen Harris.
And I'm Courtney Huckabee.
And today we're talking about one of my favorite things, which is fall. Favorite time of year?
Yes.
And decorating. Oh, two of my favorite things put together.
And Jen is very good at this.
Oh, I love it. I love decorating for all the seasons, but you know, fall's fun because then you've got Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas and all the other holidays in between you get to celebrate. So, but this can also pose a problem for some people, like my husband, who doesn't like holiday decorations everywhere. I don't know why, but for him, you know, it really hinders his daily functionality in the space, and so then the space becomes overwhelming. His eye can't land visually on anywhere. It's all just a sea of fall, right? Or a sea of holiday decorations or Christmas. So, I've kind of worked through some strategies that have really helped, you know, in my home, and hopefully that can help other people as well as they're looking at decorating this holiday season.
We all need some tips.
Yes.
We all need tips for this. Because I would say I love the fall as well. I love the smell of fall. I love the look of fall. And in Texas, we don't get all the pretty changes of color of leaves.
Our
and things.
fall happens in December.
So we have to create it in our homes and our spaces.
We rake leaves around Christmas decorations.
Yes.
That's how it works here. So, one thing, again, so the highest priority in my household is not limiting the functionality of the space. So in my household, I can go crazy on the walls because no one is storing their wallet or keys on the wall. So those can't get lost there. And then I have one tabletop area that's kind of my coffee bar area that kind of sets the tone for the holiday. Some other ways where I can like sneak in some holiday decorations is like a hand towel in the bathroom.
Yes.
Or a tea towel in the kitchen, but it's very minimal. You know, it's items that we would already be using. So one thing I like to do every season is reflect on, you know, within my family and myself, what works in the functionality of my home, where are places where I can decorate where it does not hinder that functionality, and then what items do I have that meet those needs. So every year at the beginning of the season and the end of a holiday season, I look at my decorations. So I go through and I'm like, what did I use last year? What did I not use? And why did I not use it? Was it something where I decorated late and so I just didn't get to put it out? Is it something that's easily breakable and I don't want my kids to have it, so I'm saving it for a future holiday when they're older?
My chapter of life.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Been there. We're just now starting to get out of that, but there's still a lot of items that I'm not ready to bring out yet.
Right.
So I look at that. I also look at, do these items fit the space aesthetically now? Because my tastes shift and change, and sometimes something I liked 5 years ago, I don't like it so much anymore, or I don't need it, or it's too much for the space. So I kind of ask myself those questions at the beginning and end of every season. And then on top of that, you know, it's because it's really hard to, I'm going to sidetrack for a second, because it's really hard to go in the store and not find something cute that you say you need for your house when you love decorating for the holidays. Like I find something cute and I'm like, I'll make that work. I can use that, right? I've justified things that
That's
way.
one of the reasons I don't go into the stores. Is because
Right?
I'm the same.
Yes.
I will go and I'm not looking for that
Yes.
thing, but I like that thing and I can justify how to get that thing into my space. But that's hard for so many people.
Yes. And I think a great example of that is if you've been in stores this season, again, it was out last year, like Summerween is like this really big trend and theme where it's summer decoration or summer colors with Halloween decorations, right? And so they basically created a whole nother season of decorations that you need, I'm putting that in quotes, need for your home.
I didn't buy any Summerween, but I felt very out of trend this year because everyone was buying Summerween.
But I think one thing to think about with that is if you normally decorate Halloween in bright colors and this fits in your aesthetic that you normally do, you know, that might be a good way to expand your collection or get items that you couldn't find before because bright colors at Halloween are more difficult to find.
Sure.
However, if you are traditionally the blacks, deep purples, oranges of Halloween, this might not fit in and might clash with the aesthetic you already have. So you have to ask yourself, do you like this trend enough to now devote another space in your garage or a bin or another set of decorations for it?
Or finances.
And be responsible for a whole nother season of things to take care of? Or do you stick with your core that you already have? You know, so I think it's just prioritizing. So for me, go ahead.
Well, so you're saying it's okay for me not to be on trend for Summerween.
Yes.
What I'm hearing is okay because I don't have extra space for autumn Halloween decorations and I don't have extra decorating space and my finances can be spent on other things that I like Christmas time.
Exactly. I think another perfect example of this is I really appreciate architecture. I love a great craftsman home. I love Art Nouveau style artwork. You know, I love a Spanish style, Spanish revival home. I love a country English cottage. Am I going to live in every single one of these homes? No. And so I can appreciate and enjoy the aesthetic and the decorations without having to take on that in my space.
And I really love that you talk about it this way because everything that you enjoy doesn't have to be in your space.
Yes.
I can go to places that are really cutely decorated or help me feel good for the holidays and I can go there, spend time there and not have to have it in my home.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I know exactly where I'm going.
Oh, where are you going?
Well, I don't know if y'all have ever heard of, well, you probably have them in your areas, but the arboretums around here. Even though we don't get like all the fall everything, they decorate so well for the pumpkins and the apple cider and you know those fun things, and they make it funly decorated and I can go and enjoy it. I love taking photos of it, but I don't have to bring all of those pumpkins and leaves and gourds and everything back home with me
and then clean it all up at the end of the season. Because who has time for that? Who has time for another holiday?
I love cleaning, but I don't want to add more cleaning that I don't have to do.
And it's also, you know, like, can some of those items you have live longer? So, because really fall, September to November. But for me, like I would traditionally change my decorations. I would have fall, then I would have Halloween, and then I would have Thanksgiving, right? And my Halloween feels very different than my fall. But my kids don't, like I used to go like real spooky with Halloween. My kids are not into spooky yet. They're still too young. And so I can, you know, take advantage of, we're going to go with leaves and pumpkins, right? Those decorations can last 3 months and you can layer in the other like holidays on top of that. So you have your base, because one of the things that's kind of frustrating with holiday decorating, I love it, but it's so much work and it stays up for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You don't get to enjoy all the work you put into it, right? And so this is a way to do your base, really flush that out, and you just layer in. So you can do a quick 30-minute redecorating and it feels like a whole new space. And maybe it's switching out a piece of artwork, right? Like maybe that's where you get your big accent color, or you switch out your pumpkin for a jack-o'-lantern. And so there's ways you can subtly change the look and feel without having to do a whole overhaul.
And I will say, for those of us who don't decorate for all the holidays, me, because one, I don't have a ton of time, nor do I have a lot of creativity. I need Jen to come and decorate my home. I like to do things like a tablecloth, or I like to do things like, a scent in my home. So I will do more of those things that, like, I'll change out the scent in my home, like with my diffuser or with my my scented candles, and that gives me a sense of the holiday. But I'm funny too, not really, but also gives me a sense of the holiday. But I also don't feel overwhelmed because I don't have the creativity, and what I may put out may not really feel great, or I may not have time to decorate, or I may not have a kid who will let the things stay where they're supposed to stay and not play with everything.
And I will say, like I said earlier, I have the coffee bar where I decorate. Maybe it's your front door. Maybe it's a new doormat and a wreath, and that's all you need. And you have that, and you walk in with the scent, So it doesn't have to be over the top. It's whatever works for you. Another thing I've switched to that's very helpful is I used to have like giant bins that would hold like all Halloween decorations were in this 1 or 2 massive bins. You get it out and you have to kind of sort through, what am I looking for? What am I putting up? And switching to smaller bins has been really, really helpful for me. Because since I've had children and just had busy schedules, I don't have like the full day or half day to sit down and do all my decorating at once. I might have 30 minutes to an hour here. So I've separated it to outdoor. I do banners as one, because like I said, I get to do everything on the walls. And then I have like tabletop stuff, so things that would sit on top of my credenza. And so that has really helped because I'm able to grab a smaller bin. I'm not like having to get out a big ladder and take out this heavy box. And I can get things done real quick while the kids are showering, and getting ready for bed. I can put up a banner. So that's been a really good.
That's something that I probably will adopt as my kid gets a little bit older. He's not always wanting to play with everything that's a decoration. Even when we go to like, our family friend's house and they have like their beautiful like centerpiece, like golden, like glass globes, and I'm like, don't play with them. Yes. I think in a few years, I like that. I'm probably going to ask you to help me come up with that.
Well, I used to do, like, my dining room used to be my big focal points, right? And I would do a big table spread, and that's where all the decorations would be in my dining room. But we really transitioned to more of a breakfast nook, and then transitioned our dining room into, like, a playroom. It was an office at one point. And so the space I had shrunk for the functionality of my home. And so I had to also look at, again, what worked for the functionality of my home, what fit in aesthetically, and what works in this chapter of life. So
I like that a lot. Yeah.
So those are just some tips and things that I have found helpful with decorating. Again, I love all the holidays. It's just so fun. I love being able to walk into a space and transform it, and just feel how the season, feels to me. So
I know that warmth,
yes,
that joy, that sentimentality, that that time of people together. There's so much togetherness in the fall, and we love being able to be together with each other. But we also want to remember you don't have to have all the stuff as well.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, if you love getting ready for the holidays, if you love decorating for the holidays, remember some of the tips that Jen's talked about. Lots of great strategies, whatever chapter you're in. And if you have other tips or strategies you use for your home when it comes to decorating, let us know in the comments below.
And if you want to reframe and reclaim your space, that way you have a clear countertop in order to put those decorations on. You can also pick up our book, which you see right here, Reframe and Reclaim. It's an audio book or an ebook or traditional paperback. So pick that up, and you could have a nice, clean space all ready for the holidays. So we'll see you next time.